More than 50 episodes of the Jeremy White Podcast are available on demand. That's almost as many times as Paul Stanley yells "People" at a Kiss concert.
That was a joke.
You see, I'm smiling.
An all-new episode of the Jeremy White Podcast, Tuesday at noon. Available wherever you stream. Catch up on past interviews and episodes on demand now. Subscribe so you don't miss any of it.
Listen, let's get right into this. 3 Days Grace, brand new record, Explosion, set to drop on May 6th. You can pre-order it now wherever music is sold, basically. Brand new single hitting rock radio across the country. Has taken Canada and the U.S. and the world by storm. So-Called Life, the music video already has over 500,000 views. Welcome to the show, Matt and Neil from 3 Days Grace. There they are, everybody. Look at them. Handsome gentlemen.
What's up?
Hey.
How's it going?
First of all, I just want to start with this because I'm very upset with you guys, and I finally get to grind my axe with you. You broke Van Halen's record for the most number ones on the rock charts. Listen, Matt, Neil, let me just start with you, Neil. You were there the whole time. I'm very upset at you. This is it's quite the accomplishment, but at the same time, you beat Van Halen, the greatest rock and roll band of all time. Talk about that.
Well, I think one thing that went in our favor is that the first number one they had was a cover.
Right. Yeah. You really got me.
Yeah, you really got. So I don't know if that had been, if they had a written, "You Really Got Me," we'd be screwed. No, but we're very fortunate. Yeah. It's, we have this kind of thing where we're just keep your head down and just let's just work. And when we're all grumpy old men, we can sit on our rockers on the porch and then we can celebrate. But for now, it's just let's fucking go.
Wow. Yeah. Look, I mean, if Eddie didn't pass last year, that would be in my commercial for the tour. The band with the most number ones in the history of mainstream rock songs chart on tour. I would be blowing that up everywhere,
No, I think that, you should be able to soon. I just got to let a little bit more time pass, but we're not touring till April. So.
Yeah. Matt, as a guitar player, was Eddie Van Halen a big influence on you?
Yeah, I always dug the band, I'm not for definitely our guitar player Barry would say yes for sure. I'm kind of a sloppy guitar player. I just get by.
So was Jimmy Page, but look what he did.
I'm more of a rhythm guitar player than a lead guitar player, but the guy definitely had skill. I actually named my son Eddie, so.
Oh, there you go. But it's funny you say that because honestly, Eddie, if you asked Edward Van Halen what kind of guitar player he is, he would say, "I'm a rhythm guy." That's really where he got his, playing the scene and all those covers back in the day on the Sunset Strip. Rhythm is 90% of the song. I mean, let's be honest here. It's an integral part.
Well, sure, I would say drums are around 70. I say rhythm is about 42 and a half. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, listen, let's talk about this brand new record. Obviously, it's coming out next May with a brand new song, So-Called Life. Matt, I was going to say, Neil, are you producing this stuff too, or are you just
not this. Just playing. No, not this stuff. Howard Benson's producing. Nice. Yeah, and just Howard and I have started a separate company that we're doing some other stuff with, but no, we put the dream team back together. Howard produced 1X, and he basically did a lot of stuff on Outsider, and then he produced this new album. But we switched it up actually with mixing. Matt and I and everybody else in the band had been geeking out about Bring Me the Horizon and how their record sounded.
Dude, that song they put out Foul Ammo a couple of years, 2 years ago, was oh God, so good.
Yeah. And we were like, why this stuff's just jumping out of the speakers and it's different and it's modern, it's fresh and stuff. And so we kind of did a bit of homework and ended up bringing in this guy, Dan Lancaster, who mixed So-Called Life. So you can kind of hear So-Called Life, hit play and it jumps out of the speakers in that same kind of vein. Yeah. So we just, switching some things up and keeping a lot the same. And for us, it's all about, the songwriting takes up 96.7% of all of our time. Because if we feel if it's a good song and it's believable and people can get behind it and feel emotions and be engaged and compelled to listen to it, then the rest is gravy.
Yeah. And it's funny, listening to rock bands these days. I mean, like you either got the Greta Van Zeppelins or you got guys like you where you're not afraid to take a chance and have some really cool program keyboards going on and maybe have some like drum beats, like drum loops and stuff. And, you kind of explore the sound and the genre. Exactly.
Right.
And that's a big part of the rock sound these days. It's basically it's like the Def Leppard approach. Just throw everything into the kitchen sink and what comes out, don't be afraid of it. If it's good, it's good.
As long as it doesn't sound like shit.
Right.
But it does, yeah. Which it does not.
Because, it's just we're like I said before, like we're so into like what the message is, what the lyrics are,
Right.
and like what if people can like hear the lyric and hear the message in the song, like Matt and I talk about this all the time. It's like, does it sound like we are, or this artist or whoever we're listening to is like living and dying on the microphone, or does it sound like they're reading off a piece of paper to make money? Yeah. And like, I think listeners are way more sensitive to that than ever before, where they can tell if something's like genuine coming from the heart and the soul, or if it's just like, you're just like doing it for all the wrong reasons. And that the rock and roll is supposed to be about the former, where it's like rock and roll is supposed to be dangerous and like loose around the edges and not perfect and just like wear your heart on your sleeve and just put it out there, right? I don't know.
Yeah.
That's what
I'm the opposite because I'm a big Mutt Lange fan, and I'm like, as long as the song has great production and awesome sounding drums and guitars, I think it could have the goofiest lyrics ever. But hey, if it sounds good, I'm in.
Okay, I think we're done here. Just kidding.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with Jeremy. I don't know if the lyrics mean that much. I don't sit and study them like I used to when I was a kid. So.
Yeah, like I'm the opposite. Like when I was a kid, I just listened to melody, and it wasn't until like I started writing with Chad and like started like really focusing on lyrics and stuff. I would write out a little out of the box and be a little vague, and like as long as the melody was great, it was over since I joined with 3 Days Grace that we really like focus in on the lyrics, and like if we're vague or like out of the box of what we're talking about,
right.
We try to reel it back in and be like, no, this is what we're talking about. Like we can't really be vague about this, and try to get them.
So then lyrically, are you trying to? Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I think a lot of that comes from like 20 years of 3 Days Grace. How many people have come up to us and said, this song changed my life. And we're like, the guitar didn't change your life. The drums didn't change your life. The bass didn't change your life. The melody, it's the fucking message that changed these people's lives, who were like, I thought I was alone until I heard, that this song that's about bullying or anxiety or depression and all that kind of shit. Like that's, I think, where we hold it close to our heart is
right.
Getting those messages from fans.
How do you avoid then being contrived, where you say, oh, you know what I'm going to write is going to have this power? And how do you avoid being cliche in what you're writing? Like, where does the inspiration come from? Because at some point you go, oh, we have to talk about whatever, darkness and depression. And you could fall into that trap.
Yeah. Like we start off like more of an emotion, or like,
right.
We're not like we're gonna write a song about depression today. We're not like that. It comes from a real place. It's like, okay, right. If I feel depressed, then I'm gonna write a song that is about like my depression. If I feel happy, I'm gonna write a song that is about me feeling happy, or some of these songs like are about like more of a bigger subject, like a worldly like universe type thing, or like what we're doing here and what we are right. And trying not to like worry too much about the small things, because in reality we're just like floating around on this crazy rock in the middle of like, and we don't even know how far it goes. And like I think over the years, like, and on this record you'll hear a few songs about that, like where we've even gone further out about like what the hell is going on here and what we're doing, like in this crazy rock in the universe burning.
Do you look to politics or the news to get the subject matter and get inspired, or do you try to keep all that stuff out?
I would say that it's like that's a loaded. I mean, it's hard to wake up and you get bombarded with an influx of information, which makes which puts you in a certain mindset. If you decide to be creative that particular day and write a song, write thing down on a piece of paper, all of the things that you've taken in terms of everyone's opinion, be it politics or science or medical or everything, good, the bad, the ugly.
Look, we're not asking if you hate Trudeau or not. We're just saying, do you watch the news?
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to make a big statement right now.
But no, it's funny because, a lot of songwriters will say that, they write from their own perspective and from their own personal experiences. And then a lot of songwriters will say, well, actually, I like to write from a third person. It's from somebody else's perspective that might be going through something.
You know what, Matt and I, 2 days ago, Matt and I were talking about this. And like, we agree that sometimes in our music is supposed to be a distraction from the everyday
escapism
shit. Escapism. We believe in escapism. So like, I get it. Rage Against the Machine from its infancy was about fucking, let's go.
But like, the man.
I don't fucking need to hear from the people whose music I love about their political opinions all day, every day. Yeah. I mean, that's just me. Like, I don't look to music for politics. I look to fucking CP24.
Listen, I'm going to fully agree with you. The other day I was walking the dog and this Bon Jovi song came on in my ears from their last album in 2020. And he was talking about PPEs and COVID. And I'm like, no, I don't want Bon Jovi to be talking to me about COVID. I want to walk my dog and just live on a prayer. And I was like, this is not going to work for me. So, yeah, I agree. We need to get away from that. Let's escape. So, escape.
Well, talking about, trying to make a connection with the fans and, it's all about the fans. I mean, this person commented on the video just 2 days ago for the new song, which is available now. Go stream it wherever you get your music. Yep. They wrote, this band has saved me more than once. They understand the real struggle of addiction, the struggle of wanting to give up, the struggle of a bipolar person, the highs and the lows. Never felt so close to music. And when you get messages like that from fans, what does that mean to you?
It means they must be paying really close attention to the drum parts.
Right. That fill at 236.
I mean, sorry, the lyrics. They're listening to the lyrics, Yeah. We pride ourselves. We come from honesty and we go through. I think that if we can put into words what other people are feeling to the point where they can see their own lives in our music and art, I think that's like a beautiful, powerful thing in art, right? But imagine like painting a painting and, everyone goes up to the Mona Lisa. I don't know if this is a good analogy, but goes up to the Mona Lisa. Like, is she smiling? Is she smirking at me? Like, that's me. I can see myself in her. I don't know. That kind of shit.
I don't think I'd want to see myself in Mona Lisa.
No. You sort of made fun of the music and you said, they're not here for the drum parts and stuff, but does that mean that the music is secondary to you?
I don't think that would be compartmentalized. I think it's like the whole thing is like a big. The whole thing is hard to
whole
make.
Enchilada?
People are what?
Like I think there's and we're a band, so there's four of us, and there's different people in the band that listen to different things. Right. So for me, like I like lyrics, but I'm a melody guy more than a lyricist. Like I'm okay at lyrics. Right. I'm more of a melody guy. I can make melodies all day long, and that's what I listen to. So like I bring that to the table. Neil's a very good lyricist. My brother is a good lyricist, and he also keeps us in the box of what we're talking about. So like, and Barry's like obviously a good guitar player and brings riffs to the table and also counter melodies and tingly jinglies. So we all bring our thing to the table that we,
You all add your own color at the end.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Neil, talk about the drumming on this record, for example. I mean, everybody is using the same drum samples and drum replacements in the mix and everything. Are you recording your drums one take off the floor, or what's going on there?
Yeah, who's everyone?
everyone put on rock radio. Everybody's drums sound the same these days. But the cool thing about your record and So-Called Life, I know the floor tom is what stuck out to me. I heard it sounds like a real floor tom. So
yeah, we kind of zig when everyone else is zagging. Like we're just like, that's just like the way that we play, that I played.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's real drums on the floor in the studio, real mics and everything.
Oh, one take? No, it's not one take.
No.
It's when I do it. Sometimes I'll do 2 takes. Sometimes I'll do 47.
Right.
Until it's like, wow, that one's crushing it. That sounds good.
Right. Well, listen, brand new record called Explosions, coming out on May 6th. You can pre-order it now. What else can we expect on this record? Are we going to get pretty much 3 Days Grace, or are we going to hear some more experimental stuff in there that fans aren't necessarily used to hearing?
I think like we reel it into classic stuff, and we also experiment a bit. Like it's a pretty dynamic record. We have some heavier songs and then some lighter ones. Like, you know, we like to do all fill it in, not just have every song rocking and like bring it down on back up. Yeah.
Just one more question, Mitch, just real quick, Matt, in the studio for your rhythm guitar parts, are you using real amps or are you going the digital route?
Oh no, we use all real amps. Yeah, all organic. But like we'll put on some effects and stuff through plugins and stuff. But I think most of the stuff that Barry does is like analog before it goes in. So
yeah.
We got a beach going on back there, and big naked black guy. That's kind of exciting.
Hey, he's an icon, man.
It is. Matt, I just wanted to ask you vocally, are you approaching it the same way you were 3, 4, 5 years ago? Or have you changed your vocal style? Or are you trying to do something new? Where are we vocally?
Well, for me, like I take vocal lessons every week and through touring and just like, you know, you build it up stronger and you kind of know where you're going and what you can do and what you can't do. And I feel like every record becomes a little stronger. And also like our producer, Howard Benson, he's like super good at harmonies and stuff. So he sound like a champ. So
that's why he keeps getting those Grammy nominations. And by the way, I'll wrap up on this. And Jeremy, I think you know the story. 3 Days Grace is the band that almost decapitated my daughter back in 2006.
That's right.
We were at the Metropolis in Montreal, and their former singer was having a hissy fit that night, and he threw his mic stand across the stage, and we were on the stage, went right over her head.
Oh,
an inch down, and she would have been knocked out, but we survived, and here we are doing a fabulous interview. And
yeah, man, Matt,
just always a pleasure to talk to you. And just real quick, what's it like to be in a band with your brother? Because that's do you tell him how to do stuff and then tell mom to tell him how to do stuff?
Oh no. No, we get along. It's been fun, you know, like when I was in My Darkest Days and 3 Days Grace was touring a lot and My Darkest Days was touring a lot. Right. You didn't see much of each other because I was starting my own band back home. He was out on the road on the first record, second record. So then, you know, when this happened, we got to see a lot more of each other. And, you know, Neil recorded my first riff ever. Barry gave me the first guitar. So it was awesome to be able to be in a band with the guys. And like, we talked before about maybe doing a side project at some point, but it just became a reality at one point, and I was ready to jump in.
Jump in, yeah.
Nice.
And I'll just ask you about that jumping in, because you really replaced them to save their tour. Was that sort of a stopgap, and you're just going to replace them to help them on the tour? Or was it like, no, you're going to be our singer right now?
No, it was kind of like we were just looking like to the next couple of months because, you know, they were blindsided at the time. So we're just looking at the next tour, and then it just became the next tour, and then we released a single, and then it was like, I was
this
gonna
works.
Yeah.
Well, listen, brand new record Explosions coming out on May 6th. You can check out the brand new song So-Called Life, available for streaming right now. Are you guys going to do the vinyl? Going to do the cassettes, CDs? What's going on with that?
The whole thing, 8 tracks. Yep.
Nice.
Everything.
We need
Everything.
that.
It's the
We
way
get
to
the
do it.
double album gatefold vinyl, all of that stuff, you know.
100%. We're gonna like Columbia House, Columbia House, where you can get all of them for free.
Yeah.
And all that kind of stuff.
Do all that. Well, listen, we're going to wrap up because we're getting the signal that when the drummer starts changing his virtual background, he's having a terrible interview. So we're going to wrap that up.
I'm having a great time.
Thanks a lot, guys. Appreciate it. Best of luck with the record, and we'll see you around.
An all-new episode of the Jeremy White Podcast, Tuesday at noon. Available wherever you stream. Catch up on past interviews and episodes on demand now. Subscribe so you don't miss any of it.